Hello and welcome back. I'm Bebo Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Today we're going to start a brand new season played in the realistic mode. That is probably my favorite mode to play in, and I really encourage you to play the same way. It just makes things a little harder. There's no auto buy, which is really the main thing about that. Everything else is exactly the same as the other ones, but it's fun, and I think that's what this game is really good at. So I highly recommend that you do the same. I have not recently found a map in the workshop that I really wanted to play for different reasons. Different problems were just there, so I'm just going to play with a random map because I honestly really like them. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but once we find a map that I actually like, I will share that as the empty state, probably as a save game or something in the workshop. I'll figure that out, and I'll link to that in the description below, so come by there. We're going to play mostly on realistic settings. The only one thing I'm really changing is the night-day cycle. Moving sun is awesome. I think it makes the game look a lot prettier, but the night is just too dark, and I don't want to mess with the settings too much because then I have to mess with the settings often, and I don't want to do that. Just when updates come out and those things. So I would like to keep it as night-day cycle, but everything else is the realistic setting. I believe the lock according to year may be also freely settable, and the year start is up to you. So the settings down here are completely your choice. What is the focus of this season? Honestly, I've seen a lot of forum posts in different places for how to get started, how do you make money, how do you get moving? And I think a lot of new players suffer from maybe analysis paralysis or not really sure where to start on something because there are a lot of different ways that you can play this game. And one, I believe you play the game however you want to play it. Does not matter as long as you're having fun, you're doing it right. But if you're having trouble getting moving in the beginning of things are just too slow, which really all these difficulties mean is how much slower you move. On very easy, you're going to move very fast. On realistic, you're going to move very slow. Realistic has nothing to do with realistic gameplay. It's just a different game mode. So don't interpret that word as too fancy. That's not what it is. It's not realistic by any means. You're not controlling the people by themselves. It's not realism. It's just the realistic mode because it's realistically hard. That's all that means. But yeah, I want to show you what I would do to start the game with as little problems as possible, with a hard money amount, which I believe is 1 million ruble and $500,000 from the NATO side, and just get moving really fast, and that's my goal. We may split the season up into certain phases. I think phase 1 will be the starting phase to just get situated. Maybe that will be 5 or 10 episodes. And then the expansion phase, where we get to new frontiers and get new things going and actually expand. And then probably go into that's another 10 or so episodes. And then hopefully get into the late game. The late game is just going to be full self-sufficiency, that's really all there is to this game. If you play this game the way that it's meant to be played, self-sufficiency is a natural goal. But again, if you want to play it totally different, that is fine. These are settings. Start a new game. I tried a couple lows and I didn't like the amount of lag, so let's turn that down a little bit. Again, once I have something I like, I will share this in the workshop, so don't worry about this too much, but I'm probably not going to change these values too much from here on out. So let's see what we can get. Here we are. This was actually the first try, which is not common for the random generated maps, but it totally works out. There's not too much water, but there's clearly waterways everywhere that are probably shippable. I don't know what's going on over here. Is that a lot of... It's like there was a river here, and then it got flooded by something, and now there's a lake as well. I think it's a neat feature. It doesn't look bad at all. But yeah, this is our map. How are the resources? We have some coal. This is just random generated resources, so it's not meant to be the most complicated way to do something. Nothing is really up in the mountains or anywhere like that. But I think because everything is split up by so much water, we're still going to have some challenges to get things going. So we have some coal pretty much everywhere. We have a good amount of iron available, mostly where coal is too. We have patches of oil. This is actually interesting because there's no large patch of oil, which means we have to move our oil around. I think when you click on this, they actually make them selectable now. I don't know when they added that, but I like it. This may be one of the bigger resource deposits where they're a little closer together. Everything else is kind of spread out. So that I like that for oil. This means you are forced to ship a lot of oil around your map, and that's cool. Uranium, not a ton, but some of it. That's cool. And then bauxite. Bauxite is actually really important for this playthrough because that will be our first industry. Yes, normally I make a big secret about this, but I want to make this move really, really quickly. And with the new realistic mode, well, new. It's not released yet. It's still in beta and in the early access beta, like pre-release thing. So realistic mode is about to be released. I'm pretty sure about that. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to start realistic bauxite. Wow, that was terribly, terribly introducing what I'm going to do here. But this is where we're going to start. A couple other things that I like about this. There's bauxite here. There's a border post right here. And there's, as you can note, there's only one on this big peninsula, which makes things interesting and complicated enough. This border post is also only a single station. It has 3 stops for vehicles and 1 stop for a train. That is not ideal. You want the bigger stops. You want the bigger border houses because this will clog up 100% unless I address it. And I would really like to address it because that was one of the other things that I saw a lot on in the forums in different places where this is just a bottleneck. And I think you can address it. You do have to plan, and you will not address the bottleneck 100% of the time, but you can work with a single station unless I'm completely wrong, which is totally possible. And this will show us that there's no way around the bottleneck, and that's just what you have to deal with. And don't play on a map where you have a bottleneck customs house like this. So that's that. The other reason why I like this map, and we're going to start in this area. So there's bauxite there, there's some more bauxite here. There's also coal. Coal is really easy accessible right here and then over here by the mountain. The rest I'm not too worried about. It is available. There's even some oil available here if I wanted to. So all the resources are really there. But coal is one of the bigger resources that you want to deal with right away because you need it for heating. You can export it pretty easy, and it's really just, it's a heating thing. That's the main part. You can also make power from it. We may or may not produce our own power really early. Actually, I would like to have a good working power grid, so that is something that we're going to start with as well. Cool. Now I told you part of the plan. Why am I doing bauxite? That's really simple, actually. First, we're going to build some roads. And yes, we're going to use the grids where available, where necessary, where appropriate. But we're going to have dirt roads only for the beginning. And this actually may cause some headaches for me, which I like headaches. Don't make the game too easy to me. Don't make it too hard to watch either, because all you do is really slow down the game a lot. And that's not necessarily a good thing. Let's go here. Let's go... what is the straight line here? I can't even tell because the grid is doing something a little wonky at times. Let's go there. That looks good. Come over here. And then I think we're pretty close to the border post already. There you go. Take you back. Go over there. Yep. That's our connection. And then get this connection in here. And then I just have to verify where our bauxite is. And I believe it was really close to where we are. Bauxite is right here in front of me. The thing that you need to do now to verify that it's actually there is go to your metallurgies, bauxite mine, and then hover over the area where you think there should be some bauxite. There. I thought it was this hover over there, but it obviously isn't. There's some bauxite sitting right here. How many mines can we put here? I'm hoping for 2. 2 of these mines. What can you produce? You can produce about 0.5 tons of bauxite per day. Let's call it 50 workers. So 0.1 tons of bauxite per day per worker. So 50 tons. 50 tons. No, 0.5 tons. So if I put 2 there, it's 1 ton of bauxite per day. The bauxite processing plant would like to run through 125 tons of raw bauxite. I don't think this math is right. Nope. No, I'm pretty sure this one spits out a lot more than this. I know I can fill up the bauxite production with 3 or 4 of the bauxite mines. So yeah, this is producing a little more than what it's saying, but that's fine. Let's assume 30. 30 tons of bauxite a day. 4 fills this up, raw bauxite. So yeah, we can put 2 or 3 here. Cool. That's your start. Now what? Well, now we have to build it. And that is the thing that will take a little while. What do we need to get started? Oh, I really hope that you all stopped time before you went and did anything. Oh, and one thing I forget, I believe 3 Division made it so that if you start and the first few months of your game, you can get free terraforming that doesn't cost any money. It's not supposed to cost money. It's costing ruble right now, I guess. Okay, so never mind on that. You can get free, what? It shouldn't terraform for money. Oh well, doesn't matter. So you can terraform even though it's turned off after the first few months. But if it costs money, I don't really want to do it. So let's take that one out of the equation. What we're going to start with is the normal realistic mode setup, really. I need a construction office. I need a couple of these. But we need one right there because this is where we want to build things. So how about we start with you? Yes, that sounds great. Go from there to there. Go connect you. And then this one, we need some vehicles. What do we need? We definitely need an excavator because we have to be able to fit something on this mountain. So that's important. Excavator is good. Probably 2 is better. And we will need a bunch of excavators because that's what we're going to use in the bauxite mines. Because you can run them without workers. All you need is excavators. So that's a good thing to have. We need other things too, like dumpers and we need the whole setup. But I'm not 100% sure how all we're going to do this. So let's get a dumper here. This is a really long dirt road, which is not ideal because it can only drive 35 miles per hour on there. This dumper can only drive 35 miles per hour on there, so it would be fine using this one, but honestly, this is a really, it's long enough where you want to increase your speed a little bit, so turning this into a gravel road is probably one of my higher priorities right at the beginning. I think we're going to start that right now. What I'm going to do is run a secondary road that we're just going to snap to this. And we could, if we really wanted to, turn this into a highway later on. I don't know that that is what I really want to do down the road, but for right now, this is okay. Why would you just snap to the road? There you go. And then snap. I don't think I like how sharp this piece is. Okay, take that out, give me gravel road again. No, dirt road, this is mud road really. Then we build out this road. There is another relatively sharp turn. Sharp turns didn't bother me until I saw Kaya Maya's talk about, or video, where she was where she was showing how to speed up things by making better turn radius roads. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I should do that. I really never paid attention to that, so that was that. If you have problems not being able to delete pieces of road because there are vehicles on there, just make a note on it, and the note will allow you to actually, well, make the adjustments that you need. So that goes there, and then we just have to connect in here somewhere. I think I'm okay doing that right there. Why are you so wonky? That seems completely unnecessary. Oh, because the grid snapping was on and this is on? Nope, it's still wonky. Okay, that I guess works. Now we have this done. All we have to say is turn my road into gravel road. This is just the left shift that I'm pressing while I have gravel road selected. And then you just, well, drag over it like I'm doing right here. Should be pretty self-explanatory and works pretty well. The vehicles that are currently heading out here will still get there. It's just one of those things. They already had their command given to do that, so they shouldn't get stuck anywhere. So don't worry about that too much. With that said, we have free construction offices, and I will speed up the process for actually getting this road upgraded a little bit by putting this construction office right here. Why am I putting it right there? Because, oh, this is even a small transformer station. That's interesting. I'm putting it right here because I will 100% plan on removing it down the road. But for right now, I would like a Stellanec S100 because bulldozers are faster at creating roads than the excavators. And then one dumper. We're going to need another dumper later on anyway, so that should be fine. Now we're going to start getting our first resources. Go here. And I'm expecting... Yep, that one starts moving. Now we'll just get some gravel directly from the customs house and we'll start building this gravel road out. Very important, very easy, but you have to do it. Now at this point, these vehicles will run out of gas in no time at all. So let's add a quick gas station. This is also just temporary. This is just to allow us to have some gas sitting here. So we're going to throw that one there. On the same note, we will need some way of delivering fuel out to places and more. It's not just fuel, but the easiest way to deliver fuel right now for me, because these fuel stations only have one single parking spot, so you cannot have a vehicle wait until unloaded there, otherwise you can't use it. Use distribution offices. They will, you can get a couple free ones, which is very important. And they will get you started. All of this whole area and this beginning area will all be replaced. But for right now, this is what we're going to use. Get me something. I like these just for the size. They look a little modern. If you want to play with mods, that's fine. I haven't decided if we're going to use mods in this game or not on this playthrough. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up. But first, I want you to load fuel from here and bring it to this station. So the vehicles that are working at this construction office can get some fuel. Our vehicles have arrived here. That's excellent. We don't have a fuel station available on this side. We're going to change that really easy right here. And it's very good to have your fuel station really close to the slow vehicles. In this case, they are the excavators. And if you set it up like this, fuel just gets delivered here. Let's make these relatively full. So we know that this cistern can move 13 tons of fuel. This guy can hold 20 tons of fuel. So yeah, setting it to 30% will mean it will at least have 30% of 20 tons is 6 tons of fuel, which once it's below 6 tons of fuel, you can get a full truck in there, which is 13 tons. So it gets up to 19 tons of fuel all the time. So you shouldn't run empty truckloads ever if you set it to 30%. If that didn't make sense, please check out my distribution office correction video. But the percentages are very important for what we're doing here. Cool. These guys, I'm assuming, are all out of fuel. Yep, all of them are. I also don't want you to currently do an auto search because I don't have any way to get anything assigned to you. Because I don't want these to run out and get gravel from the border. That's what I put that construction office out there for, to get the road built. And once the road is twice as fast, it will be a lot easier to get all our materials out here, which is the next thing I will do right now. Because we need materials. What materials do we need? That is a great question, because I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste anything, but I would like to get these all started. Let's see, we are pretty much at the border here. We have some, well, excavators are apparently working. I don't know if that means they don't need fuel right now, what's going on, but this looks good. What do we need? We need gravel, concrete, steel, and mechanical components. So we need gravel is just an aggregate storage, steel is an open storage, mechanical components is a warehouse, and concrete is concrete we can get straight from the border, or we can get from a concrete plant. I'm not planning on building a concrete plant right now, so we're going to do this, but I will flip around the bauxite mine because I don't like where the road was pointing to. So this, let's see if we can get a little better on 55%, because if possible, I would really like to have a 56%, yeah, that's better. To have 4 bauxite mines sitting here, because this is going to be our first source of income, and I hope it can finance a lot of the stuff that we're going to do from here on out. So let's do that one there. Let's give you a flip. And this is not very complicated, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, all of them have about 50% or more, which I don't think is great and is not terrible. I did not put these on a grid, so they're not perfectly aligned. But who keeps track of that, right? Exactly. So yeah, those are the things that we need. Did we get our first fuel here? We did get our first fuel delivery, and that's why the vehicles were actually moving, because, yeah, I delivered some fuel. Cool. So we know now what we need. We need aggregate storage. So let's figure that out. Where is our aggregate storage? It's with the aggregates. That makes sense. You have a free one of this one. All of these things, most of them or all of them, will be removed once I'm done with this initial setup, but we have to get through it and actually get done. Aggregate storages are free and you can build as many as you want. Fuel station and construction offices are free, but you can only build a certain amount of them. For example, here, 2 of 7 are already built. Distribution offices have limits too. Not everything has limits. The storages don't have limits. So we're going to build that. We're going to get some gravel in there. And I actually think I'm going to use... I can't use that guy. No, I can. What I'm going to do is send this guy up here. And I hope it's just going to start and get us enough gravel to get going, because we shouldn't need that much gravel to start building something. So we have that one here. I will tell you once the truck is there, I guess. I could have done this a lot more efficient, but I didn't, so now we're here. But yes, I would like you to deliver gravel here once you're ready. Let's just set this up to just accept gravel. Cool. The next thing, clearly, is an open storage. Again, you can get a free one, just like so. I'm not going to put these on a grid because we don't have to. This is just a very rudimentary setup for stuff. These, you can store all of them. In the aggregate storage, you can only store one type of material at a time. Here, we can actually store whatever we want. So we're going to put steel in there. Let's hire a open hull. That one. There you go. Very good. That one comes in there, and then we should be able to tell you what I want you to do. There you go. I want you to get steel and bring it from the border over here, please. Thank you. That's all we need from there. What else do we need? Well, we definitely need an open hull that comes here, and I think it will be easier if we just have our dedicated one here and one in the distribution office. That should be fine. We also need there's a couple things that we need. We need a covered hull because we need to get the mechanical components. I'm usually picking the bigger one just because the price is not that different, and this one effectively has almost double the capacity of this guy. That's why I usually pick this one. If you want to go smaller, there are some options, and I think, yeah, this one's a lot smaller, but you don't have to. You're not really forced to do any of that stuff. So that one should be fine. I would like you to pick up your... Actually, I did that wrong. I only want you to get mechanical components from the border. Everything else, well, steel is the only other thing I can get. I want you to get from the storage that we already have. But mechanical components, definitely get from there. That sounds great. And now this construction office is full. The two disadvantages of using this construction office is it does not store fuel. The other ones do, and you only have 4 slots. So it takes a lot of these construction offices to get things moving, but I hope we can still make this work. Let's do this one, flip you around, there you go. This, I would like to get a concrete mixer, yes. And these are interesting because I need them to be fast, and because we need, how much concrete do we need per thing? Just 6.9 tons. One of these is totally sufficient. That will get us moving just fine. So that one looks fine. Get your, darn it, did the wrong thing again. Don't make these mistakes. This is the phase where you actually have to micromanage things a little bit. Normally, well, this game is focused on micromanagement. At some point, I hope that your setup is just solid enough where you don't have to worry about micromanagement as much as I'm doing right now. Anyways, I want you to get gravel from there and steel from there, and bring gravel and steel to there and to here. Are you set to load or unload? This is what I want you to do. 30% full is probably not sufficient. This one, probably 80%. I'm assuming this is gonna run for a while. So By that I mean it will require a lot of runs to fill it up enough that our construction office actually can do something. Cool. Should we get started on building one of these? Not quite. This game focuses a lot on getting things done right. Just take your time a little bit. It will totally be worth it in the long run, because right now we have 4 of these bauxite mines. Can we fit more if I wanted to? Yes, totally. There is definitely a spot right here where we need more, or where we can have more bauxite. And we should, since this is this is our first export, period. We should take every opportunity to get more stuff out. As you can see, I'm pointing all of the outlets the same direction, south, if you take my camera as being north or whatever. But yeah, there's a little bit more material there. There's not a lot there. This one may be worth it. If you would let me flatten the terrain, but no, the terrain may be too bad. Let's see. No, I think this amount should be fine. And yeah, I pointed the roads in a weird direction potentially. But this is what we're gonna do. You don't have to do this because there is, I'm assuming there is, an internal storage inside these bauxite mines. Aggregate storage, 15 tons of raw bauxite. So that is effectively a truckload every time they go in there, which is good. You can actually run these around. But if you run this with all 4 excavators, which you can put in there, you're gonna run over what you can do there pretty fast. So it's better to use aggregate conveyors. And they just added better conveyor belts with 3 in and 3 out, and I like it. Let's see. Can I? No, this is the wrong one. Is it? This is the, oh, it is 3 in, but it's a weird setup, I think. What I would like to get, this is one possible interpretation of what I want. Is this something I'm happy with? I'd much rather have these kind of line up. Let's see if we can make this work. It's not doing exactly what I want, but that's okay. I would like to have these guys connected onto this conveyor. Yeah, I didn't feel like that was gonna fly. Conveyor engines are not the cheapest, but they're by no means very expensive, so let's just be smart with this. You can design this and you can spend days designing this and eventually we'll be fine, or too good. So if I can get these 3 together, if I can, that's the thing. You don't like it, you like it. You don't like it, you don't like it, you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay, try that again. They do have to be efficient enough to actually make this work. There? Yeah, that's better. They're all connected. And now can I run this road out? Nope. Ah, 3 division. Come on. That's just a silly placement for one of these. Because the road is clearly on the wrong end of this. The road is like pointing to the back of the buildings. I need the road pointing to the front of the building. Because yes, we will worry about fire. It's not even a real question. So that doesn't work. How about you? You're just 1, 2, 3. That's not helpful at all. Is there anything I can actively do about this? I really don't think so, because however I put this conveyor engine, the conveyor engine belt that comes from this side is probably gonna put a, well, no. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see if I can trick the game. You know what? I already had enough of this. We're not gonna go completely modless, and these are one of the mods that I like. Under conveyor belts, there are these 1 to 3 mid conveyors. Really, really like them because they have a really good setup and they have an in and an out version, which is very important. So let's do this one. See where the road connection is? It's on the correct side, which is really all we care about here. The game's lagging a little bit weird. But yeah, put the conveyor there, no problem at all. Now we can run a road from here, and there's even a through road. Makes everything a lot easier. So we're gonna start with that one, and then just see if we can use some in-game conveyors maybe this time. So if I put one here, this is just to connect them. This is just to connect all of these. Let's see, E. I like that one a little better. But as you can, so if you press E and Q, you can get the high and low mid conveyor, the mid conveyor, and the high and mid conveyor. But they're also available in all of the. That's what these 4 symbols are for. So that is okay, as long, and this is middle to middle, as long as I can get a road connection out from there. Oh, you're going that way? That may actually be beneficial right now. I didn't realize that. We may fix that road later on, but you have to connect to here, which you do. Great. Give me another one. Another one right here, and this one is just a 1 or a single connection, which should be good as long as this road can get out of here, which it can. Great. Can you, it doesn't matter what you're doing. This one, however, matters. I don't know why the game that does that. This one, it just doesn't make sense. I wouldn't be surprised if this 3-to-1 mid conveyor is going to be part of the vanilla game very soon. But whatever, we're going to make it work anyways. So here we are. There's a connection. There is something. No. This is a big, or supposed to be a relatively big, well, pit. Pit where you can do, where you can see a lot of quarry action. So may as well build some quarry roads around here, because they have to go up and down, move it all around, and make things pretty. Can we get you to... Nope. I don't want to go out that far. I definitely don't want to go out that far. So let's take this one back a little bit, then move it out a little bit more, and then give me a connection that you can't refuse. That is fine. You can connect probably up here. I'm actually surprised by how easy these all connect to everything. I expected this to be a much bigger fight. Ah, there's the steep slope. You can trick this. You can trick the game a little bit if it is giving you grief, like this one. Let's see, what is our slope? Yeah, the slope is just really high. Pressing the wrong button, so pardon me. You can, pull it out really far and see if you can get the game to allow you to do some landscaping. In this case, it doesn't. That's fine. You can just use the next road and then connect this one into wherever you need it. And now you're in the same location, or in the same place. I would highly recommend not going through as too many buildings. Go through the buildings every once in a while, but if this building is on fire, no vehicles will be able to go through them. So keep that in mind when you do your things. Aggregate. We need a large aggregate storage. This one will be really expensive once we turn this on, but for right now we should be okay. We're not going to build everything right away. We just have to plan everything right away. That's what the important bit here is. So let's get this one in here. Since there's nothing else that we're building right now, I don't have to worry about any other alignments, which is awesome. And that one can go in there. And now all we have to do is tell these guys that it's okay to start building something. And how do we do that? Well, I will tell to stop constructing everything, like so, because I don't just want to build anything. All I want to do is start building something, and this one is the closest on the route, so we're going to start building that one. They can figure that out here pretty soon. Looks like we have some steel, we have some of this, we have mechanical components effectively there. Let's get a dumper, this one. We need a bus, very important. How many passengers do we need? Just a few, so get the cheap one. And then we need a crane. You cannot get a tower crane from here because you have to import a tower crane via truck. We will do that later, but for right now, just having any of these normal cranes should be more than sufficient. Speed 26, 23, just get the fast one. That should be fine. Then we are pretty much full here. I don't want you to build roads. No road, no conveyor. There you go. And that should be a pretty good start. Now we're going to get a bauxite in. Once we have a bauxite, what do? Well, we have to turn it into... Sorry, we have a raw bauxite. Once we have a raw bauxite actually producing stuff here, we can start exporting it. Once that is happening, and we make a little bit of extra money because we're already down almost 200,000. I would like to not take out too many loans, but getting citizens is also very expensive. Right now, what's expensive is the vehicles that we're getting. We could do this a little more efficiently, but we're not in that position just yet. So this has to start building. I know it's a really small start, but that is totally fine. This has to start building, and then we can start exporting this, because currently we actually have a truck coming out here, dumping gravel right there, and then going all the way back to the border. This truck could take the bauxite that's sitting here really easy, without problems. We could also put the bauxite into one of the bigger storage areas here, but 34 tons of steel is relatively expensive. 1 ton of mechanical components, pretty expensive. So we don't want to go too crazy on that right away. What do we assign here? We need to tell you to get your things, gravel from here, and humans, workers that is, workers from here. And then they can figure out what they actually want to do. I don't think you are allowed to assign yourself some stuff. And while we're here, let's get our construction office assignment tool and just get these two onto group 1. So now we can assign them a little easier. And here you can see what your construction offices all have available. We have vehicles available. Cool. We have that. This is also new. We have workers available, gravel, concrete, mechanical components. We don't have steel available yet, which probably means this guy does not have the steel version assigned, which I didn't do apparently. So that's good. Now we have everything assigned, and everything is relatively close besides mechanical components, but once we need them, the truck can just go out there and actually build them. So this looks pretty good. I would like this one to get done really fast, but it's going to take a little while, and we only have one dump truck doing its thing. It's just gonna take a few minutes. I would have expected to have these excavators going out to the mine already, but I guess they're just hanging out. Why are you hanging out? Oh, you also need concrete, but the concrete is coming right there from the border, and that should kick everything in gear. So wonderful. First episode, really slow start, but I'm really focusing on making money first. You can do a lot of other planning while this is all happening, but I don't want to skip out too much on all the fun stuff that I want to show you. So let's just get this one started, and next time we'll plan a little bit of the industry that we're going to do here, and then we're probably just going to start planning our first city. And then it's just a matter of, is this actually going to work? I hope it is, but we will see. Thank you so much for watching. This is the realistic mode. Really highly recommend that you try it out too. It's a little harder, it's a little slower, but it's a little more rewarding. That's not for everyone though, so you do your thing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.